Kind of thing that you would expect to come out of Jimmy Hart, and it was indeed. We have had in the past couple of weeks a chance. What we started out to find out about was a little bit about Jimmy Cornette's plans to be a manager. And Jimmy, I know that you have had a moment or two of rough treatment out here, but you know, I guess that's all part of it.
Lance, I'm glad to be here today, even though I've had to buy this time. The past couple of weeks, I've been the object of ridicule, of embarrassment, of abuse, of anything else that you want to call it, at the hands of Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee while you stood by watching.
I was here.
My family name has been embarrassed. And although Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee don't seem to take me very seriously, I'm not the object of ridicule that the entire country, that they would have people believe the entire country thinks I am. I'm serious about this, as I've said before, and my mother's attorneys have come into it. I've negotiated with them, and they have been negotiating with people. If these freeloaders back here would be quiet, and I have here, if you don't mind, a notebook with a list of no less than 15 names that my mother's attorneys have had serious commitments with, and I don't want to reveal anyone. The book will stay closed. But to name drop just a little bit, because I am pretty happy about it. Terry Funk, Dory Funk Jr., Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, all either present or past NWA World Heavyweight Champions, and that's where the book will stay. I think that's enough. But as to Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee, they seem to want to drag my family name down through the mud, and I'm upset about it, and my mother's upset about it. I talked to her. She's been watching me, and she was not happy at all, because the Cornette family name is one that's been respected for a long time. It has a rich heritage, and it's not something that some lowlifes can come and just on national TV drag down through the mud like that. And so she said, what are we going to do about it? And I said, well, Mama, why don't we put a bounty out on it? And she said, no, that's too low. That's not something that we would do, but in business, Lance, there's things known as incentives. And now, what we've done is put a $5,000 cash incentive for anyone that wrestles Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee and ends the match to my satisfaction. Do you understand that?
Yeah, it seems, Jimmy, kind of not exactly the right spirit on which to take that.
I came out here in good spirit at the beginning, and then Jerry Lawler comes out here and Bill Dundee comes out here, and they had their chance. I wanted them, but not anymore. So now they've blown it, Lance. That's all there is to it. Now, the first person, I've had negotiations with different people, but I've talked especially on the phone to Atlanta, to the Super D. And $5,000 cash, in addition to the $10,000 that Jimmy Hart and Ric Flair have worked out on Jerry Lawler's head. The Super D said for $15,000. Well, I can't tell you what he said, Lance, but I have a feeling I'm going to be satisfied in the matter of Jerry Lawler Monday night.
Well, I'm a little disappointed in the attitude. Hey, Jerry, come on. No. Hey, come on, Jimmy. Now, leave him alone. Tell you what, let's take a break. Let's take a break. Now, we're going to take a break. Take a break. We had occasion to be talking to Bill Dundee about the Steve Kern incident, and I think everybody will get the full measure of exactly how deeply Billy and some of the guys felt about it. Let's listen to Bill.
That's right, Lance. You know, when I left him a couple of days ago, the man was depressed. He was way down. It was hard for him to talk in that interview. When we showed up with that camera, he said, oh, no, man, take it away. He said, I don't even want to talk to nobody. I don't want nobody to see me like this. Well, let me tell you something, Hart. It's bad enough when you just walk around and you go to a desk job and something happens to you and you can't do that. But anybody that plays football, baseball, or professional sport of any kind need everything that they got, from the little finger to the little toe. If anything happens to it, you're never as good as you are. Well, on Steve Kern's bed, Lance, on a little jar, there's a piece of bone about this big that they had to cut off the elbow, Hart, because you and that chocolate drop and that Bobby Eaton beat on him with that chair. Now, I'm going to tell you something, Hart. The man called me up, and he said, Bill, he said, I hate to even do this. He said, but I can't do it by myself, man. He said, me and you drove up and down the road together. We had a million laughs. He said, now I'm out of the wrestling business. Well, let me tell you something, Daddy. If it's the last thing I can do, I'm going to kill one of them jerks that did it, Daddy, because I loved him like a brother. And I'm going to tell you something, Hot. The man may be done. He may be finished. He may not be able to feed his family. If it's the last damn thing I do, Hot, I'm going to kill you, Jack.
Well, Steve was also a good friend, or is also a good friend of Terry Taylor. And Terry, both from Florida. And Terry said in the past that Steve has kind of helped his career along from time to time, and he feels strongly about the situation, too. Terry also had some comments about it.
Yeah, well, you know, when I started, Steve was instrumental in getting me going, like we've said. And I feel like as a friend, you know, he asked me to be his tag team partner. And it was my way of coming back and helping Steve. He said, we can win those belts. And, you know, Steve was the leader, and he took me and he helped. We did whatever we could. Went in and we won those titles by the rules. Well, those guys come out. They did it on purpose. They broke his arm. Well, injuries are part of wrestling. But the way this happened, that doesn't belong in wrestling at all. Well, I'll tell you, Steve, you're a friend of mine. I'm going to tell you right now, anything I can do to help you and your family, if that's it, I'll do it. I'm telling you right now, Hart, Coco, Ware, Bobby, I don't care where it is. I'm going to do it, and it's going to be for Steve.
Well, I think that pretty well, that's just a couple of the guys. I think there are many of them that felt exactly the same way about it. Rough and tumble business, no question about it. And as Terry said, injuries are a part of it. But, I mean, senseless things like that are the things that I think irritate. Frankly, they irritate the stew out of me, and I think a lot of the fans. And it's this... win at any cost, get the publicity at any cost attitude. And the guys, I think, have an interesting philosophy about it. They're not so much interested in the commission or the alliances or whatever, taking care of the so-called bandits, you know, who use tactics like that. They like to take care of them themselves.
In their own way.
They feel like that, by God.
Double Dutch clutch puts it down to the mat. The Dutchman drops with the arm. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Look out, hard in there with the cane. Here comes Kamala 1 and 2 again.
About all over with.
Yeah.
Dutch wins it, and then here comes Hart. And those two big galoons, Kamala and Plowboy. Now they're working on Dutch Mantell.
Jumping around with that cane. He got the initial smack on Dutch Mantell. They got him cut open.
Crowd hollering, we want Lawler, and I bet Dutch wishes that he had. Here comes Bobby Fulton.
Oh.
Hart wheels him with that cane.
I'm not sure Jerry's going to be in any shape to help him out after the way they worked on him out here just minutes ago.
Hart nails Bobby Fulton again as he was trying to get in, and Kamala gnawing on Mantell, whose face has been busted open.
Both of them continuing to work on Dutch Mantell. Hart moved referee Jerry Calhoun out of the way. Bobby Fulton trying to come back into the ring and help him. Well, there is Lawler.
The King back out.
Whoa.
And good night from everywhere it's happening. I'm telling you. And Lawler, in fact, did come in to get Dutch out. Whew. We about got this. I'll tell you what. Let's take a break right now, and we'll come back. We got a lot of matches to get in, so let's take a break right now. Taylor, we've got the highlights of it. You have got to see this kind of action. Let's take a look at it right now. Just continuing to mash that arm of Eaton. Here comes comes Dundee. He'll be flying off that top rope. He'll be trying to keep Eaton in there. You can bet on that. And he got away. Boy, no sooner had we said it than Bobby broke away. Tagged Sweet Brown Sugar, and now Terry goes to work on Sugar's arm. Oh, and Dundee did whale him with that chair. Dundee on Sugar. Dundee staggered, bleeding again. Billy hits the deck. Eaton on the inside, but here comes Sugar. He distracts the referee while Eaton gets the cane and stabs Dundee with it. Terry Taylor slammed on the concrete across the ring by Sweet Brown Sugar. We're going to have a disqualification, I believe, on Jimmy Hart. That is going to settle the official part of it, but not by any means is that going to settle the unofficial part. 9:20 was the time. Dundee with a cane going after Hart, then Eaton, now Sugar. I guess we're still operable. The equipment having been banged around. Sugar nailing Terry Taylor and Dundee with that rope standard. Now with a cane. Referee Jerry Calhoun received several shots. Disqualification, and there they go. I don't know where they are now. The official is going to be a disqualification on the team of Sugar and Eaton. But the battle rages. That son of a gun went right into the shower. What a wild affair that was. Dundee and Terry Taylor and Sugar and Eaton. A blazing piece of tag action. We got some tag action still to go, and we're going to be looking at Billy and Terry Taylor coming up in just a moment after we take time out. And Terry Taylor coming up in a tag action bout in just a moment. Right now, I want to add a little pulchritude to championship wrestling we have not had for quite some time. Some of the gals there, and we want to bring out Vivian St. John. Hi, Vivian. Good to have you out here. And Velvet McIntyre. Vivian from Fort Lauderdale. Here, come around here if you would, hon. There we go. And Velvet, you're from Dublin, Ireland, right?
That's right.
Yeah. By golly, we're glad to be able to tell the folks that we hope maybe you're going to be around the area for a little while, Vivian.
Yeah, Mr. Russell, we understand that you have a lot of battle royals here and elimination matches.
Oh, yeah, we have tag elimination, which I think with the wrestling fans is becoming one of the bigger things that we've had around a long time. And, of course, the battle royals are notorious. This was the home of the biggest one in the world, 50-man battle royal we had at one time.
That's right, and I'd like you to know that equal rights is now here. We have equal rights with the men. And any time that we're booked in an elimination match or battle royal, if someone tags out, we're going to go in and wrestle the men.
Well, in the mixed man and ladies tag match previously, the rules are such that when a man tags in, the other man comes in, or when the lady tags in, then the other lady comes in. And you are proposing that all of this be changed?
Well, that's right. I mean, we have equal rights, and it's ridiculous for us just to jump out. You know, if there's a man there, we have the right to wrestle him.
I'm a little. How do you feel about this, Velvet?
I feel the same way.
You feel like you ought to be able to get in there and compete with them and compete for the same kind of purses? Well, on battle royals, if the entry fee is $100, I guess you're figuring if you got the $100, then there's no reason that they shouldn't put you right in there with them.
Hey, if we got the money, we got the right to win the big money, right?
Well, that's, you know that you're going to be giving away a lot of weight with some of this.
If I'm in the Bell Royal, Don, I wish you luck. If I'm in the Bell Royal, I wish you luck. On the way to kiss your face, and we'll do something.
Okay, Terry Taylor and Vivian St. John. Well, yeah, good luck is about what I can say, and we're going to be looking forward to seeing you here.
Well, I hope that Mr. Invincible Jimmy Hart might be in the battle royal that I hear you're having tonight, because we got a surprise for him.
I love it. I love it. Velvet, thank you for coming out here with us. Time for us to get in the ring now and some more action. So let's go to Davey and our tag action match.
We got a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match coming up here. Total weight of 482 pounds. Introducing from New Orleans, Louisiana, the Dream Machine, and his partner from Atlanta, Georgia, Carl Fergie. Going against him at a total of 429. From Vero Beach, Florida, Terry Taylor. And from Australia, superstar Bill Dundee. This match one-fall, 15-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
Yeah, that's a good question. Who is starting? Dundee is outside, but on this side, we've got, Carl Fergie stepping out, Dave, and the Dream starting against Terry Taylor.
Dream Machine, Terry Taylor. Terry from Vero Beach, Florida, part of that Florida School of Wrestling, and boy, those Florida guys have looked good around here in the last few weeks and months. Going against a trimmed-down Dream Machine. When he first came into the area, he was at 270. Lost a lot of weight, picked up a lot of speed as a result. He tags out. Here's Carl Fergie. Fergie smacking Terry Taylor's head into the turnbuckle. Into the corner after him with a foot, a fist, and a foot to the midsection again. Cover by Carl Fergie. Count of one is all he gets. There's a tag by Fergie on the Dream Machine. He holds Taylor back on the ropes while a Dream Machine uses a double forearm across the back. Taylor off the rope. Got it in the midsection. A little over a minute gone in this one. Oh, the power slam by Dream. One. But Bill Dundee is there. He grabbed a foot and broke the cover at the count of one. His Dream Machine looks like he might have had a chance for the 3 count after a power slam on Terry Taylor. Taylor picked up by the hair. Machine reversed. Taylor went into the corner after him, and Green Machine lifted the knee. Tag made in the Dream Machine Fergie corner. Oh, Fergie, vicious upper arm. Taylor coming off the rope. Put across the throat, he's choking, and the referee calls for the break as a result. Dundee around the ring. It's sent back to the corner. Go, Terry, go! The crowd chanting. Taylor puts it down. He gets a 1 count. A Dream Machine from behind. Broke that one up before he could get a 3 count. Now Dundee and Dream Machine getting into it over here. Fergie grabbing Dundee from behind. Dream Machine, meanwhile, heads for Terry Taylor. Dream Machine whips Taylor into the turnbuckle. Into the knee of Carl Fergie in the corner. Fergie comes in after the tag. Terry Taylor, been in there a long time. We're coming up on the 3-minute mark. 3 minutes gone in this match. Terry Taylor being worked on by Fergie. Now the Dream Machine after the tag. To the ropes again. Dream Machine has him in the air. Body slam. Machine out of the corner. A little extra string. Sits down. Taylor rolling out of the way. Jab in the throat by the Dream Machine. Off the rope. Taylor takes the upper arm. Dream Machine makes the tag. Taylor trying to make it to the corner. He doesn't do it. Fergie slams him. Goes to the rope. Oh, drops down with the knee. Cover by Carl Fergie. Down to 1. Dundee steps in to break it up at the 1 count. Four minutes gone now. 4 minutes into the action. Bill Dundee and Terry Taylor against the Dream Machine and Carl Fergie. So far, it's been pretty much Fergie and the Dream Machine. They have kept Terry Taylor in there. Fergie tried to get him off his feet. Taylor would not be moved. Instead, he dropped Carl Fergie. Fergie makes the tag. Taylor loose for a moment, but cannot get to the corner. He reverses Dream Machine. Drops him over the back. But as he did so, Dream Machine got him down to his knees, so Taylor unable to get to the corner again. For the tag on his partner. Fergie back in. Using the forearm, now the choke back in the corner. The referee's there trying to back him up. Dundee trying to even it up. There was 2 against 1 back in the corner. Taylor really being battered by Dream Machine and Fergie. Slammed by the Dream Machine. He's to the corner, on the rope. Smashes off the rope, but Taylor moves. He gets the tag, and here is Bill Dundee. Dundee working on both of them. Look out. Here comes Hart. And a front.
Come on, Dundee now. An eye for an eye, Dundee. Come on, big man. Come on. You want Jimmy Hart? Well, you got him, baby. And you can bring those ugly girls better back. I think those were men dressed up like girls out there, man. No woman's going to beat me. No woman's going to do anything to the first family, so bring them on. An eye for an eye.
Bill Dundee is covered with, I don't know what that is, red paint or what. Well, whatever it is, Hart threw it in.
An eye for an eye, Dundee, an eye for an eye. Bring those women on. They ain't women wrestlers, man. They dance at a go-go club somewhere. Look at that dog.
Jimmy.
He's got a nose as big as you, Russell.
Get out of here, will you? We don't need to hear any of that stuff. Boy, you are beautiful. I mean to tell you. Thank goodness Stan Lane, Buddy Landell, and Bobby Fulton got in there. They're taking Billy back now to wash out. I don't
know what it was, but he threw it right in his eyes when he came in there. But Taylor and Bill Dundee are going to get the win. Technically, they're on disqualification of the first family, but not much consolation to Dundee at the moment. Time on it was 5:42,
to say the least. Okay, we're going to take time out. We'll be back with more action coming up in just a moment. To go with our opening bout in just a moment, but we wanted to bring you up to date as we had introduced some time ago you folks to Jimmy Cornette, who was interested in getting into the wrestling business as a manager. Jimmy, we've had a couple of rough sessions out here. Hopefully today we won't have a repeat of any of
Well,
them.
Lance, today we're not going to have a repeat of anything that I've had before. We're going to have some success today because I am so happy. What have I been coming out here and telling you that I was going to do?
You are looking for
Don't
talent.
interrupt me. I have been coming out here and I've been telling you. And if these people would be quiet, you're not even going to upset me today. I'm happy because I've been telling you that I wanted champions. And today I have not one, but 2 champions, Lance. Do you understand that?
That you've already
happy about it.
signed?
That I have signed up, and I would like to introduce one of them right now, and I'm going to bring her out. One half of the North American Tag Team Champions, Miss Sherry Martel. And she is lovely, isn't she, Lance? Come on over.
Indeed. And now you...
Yes.
Sherry Martel and
You know, the
manager,
reason
Jimmy Cornette.
that the other half of the North American Tag Team Champions ladies division is not here today, besides the fact that these people couldn't take 2 girls this good looking in one place, is because she had to go to the hairdresser. But I assure you, she will be joining us shortly. And Lance, all I can say is, can I make an investment or can I make an investment?
I want to ask Sherry something. Sherry, I don't know, how do you feel about signing with a manager that really doesn't have any experience in professional wrestling?
Mr. Russell, I got one thing to say. Money talks and you know what walks.
Well, I guess that ends that conversation. And, okay, Sherry Martel and Jimmy
And
Cornette.
I have my first champion, and Lance, she saw my wallet, and
I get the idea. Okay, well, we're going to see Sherry in action right here. The only thing I can say is good luck to you, and good luck to you, Jimmy. We'll get a debut of Jimmy in action right here if we can break up the
chair for me to sit.
That's all we got, Jimmy. Okay, David. One thing after another.
Oh, indeed it is. Well, this match is going to be a 1-fall, 15-minute time limit match. Introducing first from Dublin, Ireland, at 152 pounds, Velvet McIntyre on the right of your screen. And going against her from New Orleans, Louisiana, at 140 pounds, with her manager, Jimmy Cornette, Sherry Martel. This match, 1-fall, 15-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun is the referee.
Okay, 1-fall, 15. Sherry's out of her jacket, and so is Velvet. And this will be the first look that we've seen of Jimmy Cornette's first signee, Sherry Martel. Bell Diamond, here we go, going against Velvet McIntyre, David.
Velvet with Sherry back on the ropes. Jerry Calhoun calling for the break. Got it back on the ropes. And we're back to center of the ring. This time, Velvet put Sherry Martel on the ropes. Whoop, little hair pulling by Sherry Martel.
I want a clean break off the rope.
She can't take it. Tell her to get out.
Listen to me. Talk to her.
Now, a little discussion here between the referee and Sherry Martel. Jimmy Cornette smiling in the corner over here. Velvet McIntyre with a headlock, but Sherry Martel picked her up. Velvet hung on. Sherry had the shoulders down briefly. Velvet kicks out of the head scissors. Both have them back on their feet. Velvet McIntyre. Side headlock. Jerry Martell over to corner. Martell. Double fist. Martell. Whoop. Flip off the top rope on Velvet. Velvet across the ring, and it follows with a drop kick. Velvet McIntyre goes again with a side headlock. 1 minute 40 seconds gone in this match. One fall only. Velvet driven to the mat with a forearm and a fist. Hard to tell from this vantage point. Body slam by Jerry Martell and a cover. 1. Down to 2. Velvet McIntyre able to break the cover. Jerry Martell with a flip on Velvet McIntyre off the ropes. Looks at Jimmy Cornette and says, okay, I got her now. Velvet leaps over. Presses Sherry down to the mat. 1, 2, and a 2 count is all she gets. 2.5 minutes gone. 2.5 gone. Sherry Martell again out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Jimmy Cornette making the announcement just before the match that he had signed Sherry to a contract. Velvet McIntyre out of Dublin, Ireland. Sherry Martell with a drop kick. Velvet McIntyre on the mat. Count of 1. Velvet able to break the cover at the 1 count. Right hand. Velvet answers with the right hand. Velvet, like she was going for a flying head scissors and missed it, but she converted it into a reverse headlock.
Yeah, it looked like Sherry stood up right at the last minute and threw the timing off, but Velvet adjusted to it very, very nicely. Uh-oh.
Jerry Martell fires her into the ropes. Jerry with a suplex. And a cover. 1, 2, and 3. Jerry Martell with the win. He's smiling. And Jimmy Cornette is happy. The time on it, 3 minutes, 45 seconds.
Oh, no. Jimmy holding up a mirror so Sherry can fix her hair after the match in there. She did. Yeah, I can believe you're reaching for your wallet already, Jimmy. I can tell. One of those cases where just that little missed thing in there, that flying head scissors, it might have turned the entire thing around. But Sherry Martell went up on her and she adjusted to the thing, but then Martell started to work and got herself a win out of it with a big suplex in there. 3 minutes and something we had, 45 seconds. Action, we got plenty of it. Going to be back. We'll be talking with the King coming up in just a moment. Will be their opponents in that bout.
And I want to say one thing. It's going to be a busy, busy night for the Dust Bowl. Music City, let me tell you one thing. We're going to have a battle royal with the women in it, too. Is that correct? And that means if women get in the ring with men, then they're liable to get drilled, right? Well, if they get in my way, they're going to get drilled. I'm sure Terry feels the same thing. If they want equal rights, then they got to take the equal fights, is all I got to say. And I got 2 matches coming up with the Kamala 1 and 2, and I got to get out of that one first. But the big match that I'm interested in is Bobby Eaton and Coco Ware with Jimmy Hart. Now, last week, they got me down. He strapped me. They strapped Terry Taylor, and I'm getting tired of it, baby. But this week, we beat you last time. But tonight in Nashville, we're going to win again, and we're going to take those belts, and after we take it, I'm going to bring this whip out, and I'm going to give you a taste of this leather. How you feel, Terry?
I'll tell you, these guys go around and try to beat up everybody. They take whips, chairs, it doesn't matter, belts. Well, this time I'm going to be at ringside. I'm going to have my own belt. When we get done with these 2 guys, we're going to beat them. We're going to beat them for those straps because they took them from us. They didn't beat us for them. They took them. When we get done beating them in the middle of the ring, we're going to take these straps and we're going to let them have it all over the ring.
But we got plenty of action in that ring. But right now, an opportunity to bring in Southern Heavyweight Champion, the King, Jerry Lawler. Jerry.
Lance.
Yeah, well, I guess that took care of that.
That's it. I'll see you later.
I am delighted to see you here in one piece because I know you've had some rugged competition here in the last few weeks.
That's right. I had something I want to talk about, and the more I've been standing in the back, I'm thinking, well, I don't know if I want to talk about it that much or not. But I guess since I'm here, I will.
Yes, do, please.
I wanted to relate a little incident that took place a week or so ago with me. As you know, well, it took place in Memphis at the Coliseum. I was over visiting someone there at the Coliseum, and a lot of the people were coming by picking up some advance reservation tickets and things like that. And a little short black gentleman came up to the window there, and I was in the back talking with someone, and he saw me there, and he said, he knocked on the window, and he said, "Come here. I've been looking for you for a long time. I've been needing to talk to you real bad." So I went over to the window, and I said, "Yeah, what do you need?" And I mean, now this is the first time I'd ever laid eyes on the guy, but I guess, he sees me every week, so he said, I got something that I want to ask you. I want to know, and I'm trying to anticipate what he's going to ask me. I didn't have any idea. He says, "I want to know what's wrong." And I said, "Well, what's wrong with what?" And he said, "I want to know what's wrong. What's wrong with you?" And I said, I was dressed nice. I had my hair combed, shaved, and everything. I thought, I don't know what is wrong. What are you talking about? And he said, "Well, I just wondered what's happened to you." He said, "I've been coming to the matches for years." And he said, "I've been watching you. And he said, lately, every time you go in the ring, he said, you take one of the worst beatings that I've ever seen. He said, they pound on you, and he said, it seems like it takes so much until you finally get mad or until you finally do something. He said, I just wonder what it is. Are you getting old, or are you just washed up, or what is the problem?" That's what he said, And I said, well, I said, I hadn't really thought about it. I didn't know what to tell the guy. So what I did, I went and, like I said, I hadn't thought that much about it. So I went 2 days later, and I went and I talked with our film man in Nashville, Randy West, who films most of the matches. And I said, "Randy, could I look back at some of the films of my recent matches?" And I told him what the gentleman had said, and he said, "Well," he said, "let me get a few little film clips and put them together, and I'll show you what some of your recent matches have looked like." And so he put this together, and if I brought it with me, and I want you to
I think
take
it's
a look
set up and ready to go. Is it okay? Let's go ahead and, here we go. And Kamala goes for that throat again as he has Lawler in the corner. Can't see. It looks like Jerry's eyes bleeding. Oh, boy. He is really going after Lawler now. And Von Roschka rattles Lawler with one and puts Jerry on his back. Picks Lawler up. Backbreaker. Throws him down. Drops with a large elbow. And he nails Lawler with that claw and bounces him down on the ground. Lawler kicking, trying to get out from under it. Super D slams Lawler's shoulder into the top turnbuckle. Super D steps out on the apron, snaps that arm off the top rope. Lawler is down. Tried to hip toss him, couldn't make it go, though. And a body slam. Oh, Super D right down the small of the back. Both legs across the back. 12 minutes in, and the referee counts him off. Ooh. The King takes takes a big knee right in the back. Man, look at him fire Lawler around that ring. Lawler with a side headlock picked up in the air, and he's tossed off. Ow! Uh-oh. His knees buckled on that one, and again. And Lawler shoved into that turnbuckle. Gang on a whip. Boy, what a clothesline. The crowd is just sitting stunned. They are just absolutely sitting in disbelief. And a splash from the one-man gang, and he doesn't even try for a pin. Now, after looking at that, I can see what the gentleman was talking about.
Well, I could too. And like I said, you know, it hadn't dawned on me that much. I hadn't thought that much about it. I had noticed possibly it been a little harder to get out of bed in the morning and things like that, maybe being a little more sore. And after watching the film there, that could possibly be the reason why. I've been doing a little too much catching and not enough pitching. So what I did, I said, well, Randy, now I realized that's an edited film, and I said, you know, I had to have a little offense in there somewhere. You know, I am the Southern Heavyweight Champion.
Still got the title.
That's right. And I said, can't you find anything of me looking kind of good? And he said, well, tell you what I'll do. He said, I'll try to. And what he had to do was he had to go back. Now, I'm not talking about just back a few matches like you see these recent ones. He had to go way back in the film library to find some of the old Kings, and he put that together for me. And I brought a little bit of that, and I kind of like the looks of this. If you can run this for just a second, I think we can talk over this. Now, as you can see, this is a little more, like I said, a little more offensive Lawler here. Now, I realize that I may not be wrestling against some of the guys that you've seen me against lately. There it is when I had some of the matches against Bill. But what I figured out when watching this kind of stuff, I didn't take nearly the abuse then that I have been taking lately. And I have tired of taking that kind of abuse. And so what I just wanted to do was put everybody on notice, and all of those wrestlers that Hart has, or any of these wrestlers that intend to get in the ring with me from now on, I want them to watch this film very closely right here.
Famous Lawler barbecue right there. Yeah, I remember those chains, and so do a lot of guys that you won against, Jerry.
Well, all I'm saying is this, Lance. What the people just saw on that film there is the old King. And I won not 60, 70, or 80% of my matches, but I'd say about 99% of them. And I am tired and sick and fed up of people like Hart bringing in all of these clowns and abusing my body. And I'm telling them right now that what they just saw on this TV is what they're going to see from the King from now on, brother. So I want Hart. I hope you watch that real closely, and I hope you tell all of those clowns that you got in mind of bringing in from now on, because you just saw what they got in store for them, brother. The old King is back from now on.
Well, obviously some of the folks would be interested in seeing that. Forewarned is forearmed, Jimmy Hart and company. We're going to take time out now. I'll be back to the ring in a moment. David, that we were going to have a chance to see the Sheep Herders. Now, here's a tag team that has quite a reputation. We've got the land of tag teams right in the Mid-South area, and so it's no wonder that another one will come looking for the riches in this event, because we've got the Southern tag titles here. We've got, right at the present time, the WWA World Tag titles. The Sheep Herders. And let's take a look at them in action.
Every bloody yank out there to know one thing. And we're not talking to you people that sit home and watch the bloody TV. We're talking to the wrestlers. We have come to this country to destroy Americans. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We've been champions in 37 different countries. We are the holders of the most prestigious titles in the world. And we're here. And you people better know it. When we tell you that we're going to break your arms, we're going to break your arms. And if we tell you we're going to break your neck, we're going to break your neck. And just to prove that we're not just another pretty face up here yelling out, threat, we've got something to show you, and I want every wrestler out there to be watching this. As you can see, our teamwork is so far better than any other team in the world that we know exactly what we're doing every minute of the time. We're cousins, we're the New Zealand sheepherders. We are the best there is in wrestling today, and we'll be in your area soon. And when we crack heads, we'll crack them. And when we crack them good. We're going to go out to hurt wrestlers, not just to win matches. We don't care about that. We only care about what happens in our country when they get the paper clipping saying, another Yank crippled, or another American put out of the professional wrestling business. And that's all this is. This is a business. It's just like opening a gas station opposite another gas station. You want that gas station out of business. And we're here to put wrestlers out of business. We're not here to make friends. We're here to show you people exactly what this flag here represents. We carry this flag with us everywhere we go. This flag not only represents our country, New Zealand, this flag here represents the team of the sheepherders. We are unbeatable, and we will never be beaten. 37 different countries we've been champions, as I said, and in this country there is not a septic tank Yank that can beat us. And now, you wrestlers, when we're coming to your area and you'll hear that we're coming, I want you to listen to this poem, and you listen good, because you better know it when we get there. And it goes like this. You fans have seen the wrestling game's best. Men from all nations with hair on their chest. Some you admired and some you hate. And some were so lousy they just didn't rate. But who is the greatest of all present and past? The kids from down under that roll them up fast. Who are these men? These men of such fame? They're sheep herders. That's their name. You learn that name. You learn to fear that name.
Sheep herders.
When you get in that ring, be prepared. Be prepared to be hurt. Because we are the best, and you are the rest.
Well, a modest little speech from one of the New Zealand sheep herders, and some pretty impressive action in there, as a matter of fact. I well remember when Barnes and Dundee hit the country, and I just have to harken back to that to think about the sheep herders who will be in the Mid-South area right now. Continuing our conversation about tag teams, we told you that Jimmy Hart said he had another big surprise for us, and here he is with it.
Look, can I borrow your microphone? I've got to do this right. I've got to do this right. Come on, y'all guys asleep on the camera. Come on over here. Bring the camera over here. You know, how many times, I want y'all to, how many times has Jimmy Hart told you he was going to bring the greatest attraction to this area? How many times? Tell me, how many times? And I've always done it, haven't I? I've always done it, haven't I? That's right. I brought you Kamala 1 and Kamala 2. I brought you handsome Jimmy Valiant, the Valiant brothers, the Graham. I brought you everybody. But I have outdone myself this time. I have really outdone myself this time. Because, ladies and gentlemen, and I use the word ladies and gentlemen very, very loosely out here talking to you now, but I put my mind to work. And I put together, Lance Russell, the greatest team in professional wrestling to date. And I'm going to bring them out. I want you people, come on, I want everybody to stand up. I want everybody up. Everybody up. Come on, you idiot people over there, up. Put your hands together and welcome the greatest team in professional wrestling, the New York Dolls. The New York Dolls, baby! The New York Dolls! Look at them! Aren't they beautiful, Russell? Aren't they beautiful? Come here, boys! Come here, dolls! Come here! Woo! Beautiful! Beautiful! Beautiful, baby, beautiful. The New York Dolls, baby. Aren't they gorgeous? Now, looking at the sheep herders and looking at this is class, man. A touch of class right here. I can't believe this. Boys, I want you, dolls, look, I want you to take your jackets off, and I want you to show all these, I could say lovely, but they sure ain't lovely, all these girls over here, the most beautiful bodies in professional wrestling today, right here. Come on, eat your heart out, baby. Look at this. Come on, pose for them, baby. Look at this. You know, I put together, like I said, the greatest team in professional wrestling in the Dolls. Now, I already have super team. I'm so excited. I got to talk today. Sugar and Eaton are a great team. They're my #1 team, baby. And then, of course, I've got Kamala 1 and 2, and they're #1. And now I've got another #1 team in the New York Dolls. Take his jacket off and show these muscles. Now, a lot of people are saying, hey, that's the Dream Machine. And you are right. This is the Dream Machine for the first time, unmasked. The legend, baby, co-holder of the Southern Heavyweight Championship titles for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, baby. Co-holder of the Southern Heavyweight Championship. What, he didn't co-hold it? What am I talking? Like I said, I'm so excited I can't even talk. He was the Southern Champion for 5 or 6 months, baby. And now I've got them together, the Dolls, Rick McGraw, and the Dream Machine, baby, the New York Dolls. So let me tell you something, boys. We've got a championship match with Hubert and Steve Regal. That's right. The big one, baby, for the